Welcome to Real Estate AI Flash, the show where we cut through the noise and show you how agents are using AI to win. I'm Rajeev Sajja, and every week I talk with people who are actually doing the work, not just talking about it. Today's guest is Omer Reshid, the #1 Gen Z realtor from Bethesda, Maryland, outside of Washington, D.C. He's using AI to build efficiencies, drive social media growth, and custom GPTs to have information at his fingertips for his clients. Wait till you hear what he has created as a 23-year-old. Let's get into it with Omer. Well, welcome to another episode of Real Estate AI Flash, and today I got probably the #1 Gen Z realtor in the DMV area, hails from Bethesda, Maryland, Omer Reshid. Omer, welcome to the pod, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. Super excited and honored to be on here. And I can't wait to get into it with you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, I heard a podcast recently that you were on, and you shared your story coming from Ethiopia. So I'd love
Yes.
for the listening audience to get to know you a little bit, your journey, and bring us to today.
Yeah. So I'll give you the long story short version of Omar. So originally from Ethiopia, born and raised there. I tell everyone I'm fresh off the boat. I just got here like 8 years ago. Came with the mindset of the immigrant out of, there's four options for us. You got to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and maybe they let you slip in computer science now. My dad moved to United States with me and sacrificed a lot because what we have there doesn't really translate over here, and it's a fresh start, it's brand new. So I had the goal of whatever it took, I had to put my dad back in the same position that he was in back home. And the only way I knew how, and everyone else told me how, was to go be a doctor, go the whole route, the whole shebang. So I was going to GW, a bio major, ready to go to med school, committed to that field. And this is during COVID, like right at the start of COVID. So I'm in my college dorm room on my own, and I'm in like a biochem class or something. And I remember watching a TikTok about this guy breaking down how much he made on a real estate deal. It was like $20,000 or something crazy. And I didn't fully grasp and understand what he was saying, what he was talking about, but I just kind of scrolled past it. But real estate just stuck in my head. So I ended up just Googling real estate near me. No idea what it meant. Residential real estate, commercial, nothing. So first result that popped up was the One Street Company, which is the #1 real estate firm in DC for 9 years in a row, and they were right downtown DC, zero point 0.2 miles away from my dorm room. And I found out who the founder and CEO was, Samar Qureshi. He was a #1 agent on Zillow. I think he still is. And I just sent him a cold email. I was like, hey, my name's Omar. I'm a freshman at GW. I know nothing about real estate, but I would love the chance to come work for you for free. I'll do your social media. I'll grab you coffee, whatever it takes. I just want to learn about real estate and be around you. And surprisingly enough, this guy, multimillionaire, #1 agent in DC, responds back to me an hour later, and he goes, "Hey Omar, no one's emailed like this before. Come on down, let's talk." And I was absolutely blown away. I showed up the very next day. I showed up at 9 a.m., big office downtown I Street, like 2 minutes from the White House. And I remember walking in my like oversized suit, and I would go to the front desk. I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to see Sammer." And she was like, "The CEO of the company?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Are you sure?" And I had to like show her the email to prove it to her. And again, mind you, I'm like 18, turning 19 at this point. And she was like, "Okay, he's not here yet, but feel free to wait." I got there at 9 a.m. Sammer shows up at like 11 a.m. This is when I learned about realtor time, and that if they tell you 9, it's probably 10 or 11. And I just remember the moment he walked into the office, the whole energy just completely shifted. He was engaging everyone. Everyone was super happy to be there. I introduced myself. I was like, "Hey, I'm Omar. I'm the kid that emailed you." And he completely had forgotten. He was like, "Hey, man, I honestly didn't think you were going to show up. I have nothing planned for you, but feel free to just spend all day with me." And for him, he was kind of disappointed, but that was a complete win for me. I get to spend all day with this, real estate mogul in the DC area. And I just remember watching this guy get a million phone calls, emails, showings, development sites, agents walking and asking him a gazillion questions. And I didn't fully understand it. I didn't really know what he was doing, but I was like, this is what I want to do. I could tell he was helping people, he was having fun, he was clearly making a lot of money. It was my first time in a G Wagon. I was like, whatever this guy does, this is what I want to do. And at the end of the day, we had a great day. And he was like, Omar, love your hustle, your drive. You actually showed up. Feel free to come by anytime. And I took it literally. I showed up every day for the next 9 months straight, completely free, worked for him. I did his social media, any miscellaneous tasks, drop off EMD checks, whatever it was. I was there to do it all. He came in, he would leave, and I would not leave his side all day. So I tell everyone this in those 9 months of interning for him, I probably learned more about life, business, money, taxes, real estate than any classroom I've ever been in, any book that I've ever read. So it really changed my life. And 2 weeks later, he was like, Omar, you need to get your real estate license. I ended up getting my Maryland license like less than a month after. The day I get my license, I walk in the office super excited. I'm like, Sam, I got my license. And Sam is a straight shooter. And he just looks at me. I thought he'd be more excited. He's like, so? Because it means nothing. Is that everybody has their license. He's like, look at your phone. And I was like, and it was a lead that he sent me. It was like an hour and a half away in Waldorf, Maryland, and nobody wanted. None of the agents wanted. And he was like, go show this house. Let me know how it goes. I'm like, Sam, what are you talking about? I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, you'll be fine. Call me if you have any questions. And I still remember this couple to this day. I remember showing them the house. They absolutely loved it. And they're like, Omar, we want it. What's next? And I'm in my head, I'm just like, great question. um, but one thing Sandra did teach me was to like always buy time, never misspeak. So I was just like, look, me and my partner will give you a call an hour later and we'll walk you through the next steps. Call him freaking out. He's like, hey, just come to the office. Long story short, he does a full deal. He calls a listing agent, this, that. And I just remember 14 days later, I had my first closing. The energy in that room was like nothing ever before I've ever felt. The clients were super happy. Title company made a whole spiel about it. And I got a check for $5,000, and I've never seen that kind of money before in my entire life. And that was it. That was a domino effect for me. From there, I had like my first 6 months, then my first full year, and went from like, 6 million in sales, 13, 17, 19, 20. And then here we are now. Between that, about 2.5 years ago, I started up my real estate media company. Everyone just asking me, hey, who's doing your content? Who's doing your content? And just word of mouth started spreading, and we grew and started Refitified Marketing. We have grown it 2024 to a team of almost 21 people total, full-time videographers, photographers, head ops. We did almost $1.2 million in revenue, and that was it. And now we're here today. And I actually recently just exited a majority of the marketing company in March. So I'm a minority owner and focusing on growing my real estate team.
Yeah, and you are a team leader. So many lessons there, man. I will reflect on a couple that I've got picked up
Yeah,
from listening to you there. So you're now a team lead at Capital Corners Group at Keller Williams
correct.
Capital Properties.
Yes,
And how old are you now?
I'm 23 now.
23. And so your first foray into real estate was in your freshman year at GW?
Correct. My sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Wow. So you've been in real estate for like 5 years,
Yeah,
six,
5 years
five
now.
years.
Yeah,
Wow. And so, what stood out to me there was you found somebody that was willing to teach you, and you went and worked for free. Too often, I find, and I have kids almost your age, and
yeah,
I find kids that are Gen Zs feel like they need to make money. And I think the goal is to learn before you can earn, right? I mean, there's a big, big
100%.
message there from what you just shared. And I think the listening audience is going to, I think there's a lot there that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
AI, but we're going to get into AI here next. So,
And I tell everyone I would spend probably, if I had it, $1 million or more to spend those 9 months with Sammer, now looking back. So for me, working for free was a bargain. That was a deal.
100%. I mean, you went there for how many people just show up without getting paid anything for 9 months
Yeah.
with no outcome promised, right? It's just your
Yep.
learnings and you implemented it and here you are. So let's shift to what was your first like light bulb moment with AI in general, like personally or professionally?
So personally, it was probably the most generic that most agents can probably see they felt, but I saw someone talking about how they're using ChatGPT to do their listing descriptions, most basic level of
Yeah.
AI. But that was my first startup moment. I was like, this is pretty cool. And that was like my first touch of it. This is almost, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then obviously we've evolved a lot more from there. But I would say, just using ChatGPT to make my listing description was like the first start of, wow, this is a game changer. Because that used to take me a long time. I take my listing descriptions very seriously.
Yeah, yeah. That's the bane of realtors' existence, from what I hear. They're just not
Yep.
good copywriters. It takes them a long time.
Yep.
And the biggest, you know, unlock for a lot of agents initially is like the collapsing time, activities that collapse time and really produce the output that you want. So let's
Yeah.
dig in. What I really enjoyed when I said, I got to get Omar on the podcast was you're obviously a successful real estate agent, but also you're
Yep.
running a social media company that you just talked about.
Yep.
There's several applications of AI that have either elevated your offering or fastened your offering, right? So let's kind of dig into
100%.
all aspects of it, wherever you want to start.
Yeah. So I'll probably start off with some of my most favorite that I brag about all the time. Number one is on the real estate side, whether you're writing offers, but mostly if you're on the listing side, Adobe Acrobat AI is my favorite thing right now.
Nice.
It will automatically, so let's say I get an offer right now that comes in, I will throw it into Adobe Acrobat AI and I'll say, hey, give me the main key points that everything I need to know about my offer that just came in that my seller should know. And it will break everything down from purchase price, EMD, contract timeline. So it'll tell me, EMD is due July 26th, inspection is due August 1st, this, and just break everything down. And then also, obviously, all of our contracts are pretty standard for the most part, but there's always additional provisions that
Yeah.
people can throw in. They check off, home warranty paid by seller that you might not notice. And this just makes it so much easier, kind
Nice.
of gets rid of that human error, and it gives me a full breakdown. I tell it to give me a nice email to my seller. So I give my sellers such easy to go, easy digestible descriptions of what the offer looks like. When I have multiple offer situations, I used to put on an Excel sheet, do one by one, go through. It was a whole thing, right? It took me hours to do. Now I go, hey, comparing contracts, my four different offers, put in different columns for me, and also give me your analysis of what you think is the best offer based off of everything you see. Changes the game.
100%. 100%. So interesting you mentioned that. I mean, one of the things that I love about Adobe Acrobat AI, as well
Yeah.
as Google's Notebook LM, is a
Mm.
comparable one.
Similar. Yep.
Similar in terms of like it doesn't go off on the internet. It's you have to give it a source, which is your
Yep.
contract.
Yep.
And I've built like I get a long YouTube video from somebody. It's like an hour long,
Yep.
and I just put it in there and it just gives me the highlights. It doesn't go off and
Yep.
wear off. So it's a great application of collapsing time. Fun story. So a couple months ago, my daughter was signing a rental agreement.
Yeah.
She's in Florida State, sophomore. And
Yep.
I was about to go on and speak somewhere, and she sends me a text, Dad, can you please look at this? Like 10 minutes before I'm going
Yes.
on. And I just popped it into Notebook LM. And I said, is there anything I should be concerned about? She says, pretty standard stuff.
Yep.
Here's your outs. I read it and I signed it and I got on stage. I mean, literally,
Easy.
right? Easy peasy stuff. So Adobe Acrobat AI, that's awesome use case. So what else?
So Adobe is my favorite right now. On top of that, we'll talk about GPTs and the custom GPTs
Yeah.
that I use, but um, apps wise, I on the editing side of it, I love, love, love Gamma.ai. It's like, so I use Canva for most of my listing presentations, editing, except all that kind of good stuff. And I got introduced to Gamma 4 or 5 months ago, and any presentation that I
Oh, yeah.
make goes through Gamma.
So gamma.app,
Game changer.
app. Yeah.
Gamma.
Yep, yep.
Yes,
But it's
yes,
an
there
AI
we go.
tool for sure. Yeah.
Yes, and it's phenomenal. And I usually will have a standard template. And what I've started doing is I make presentations for every listing that I go on. And it looks like I put in so much time,
Oh, yeah.
effort, energy. I'll be like, I take, sources from Bright MLS or wherever I want, or even if I have any photos of the property, I'll throw it in there. I'll be like, hey, write me a data chart on averages on market in the zip code and sync like it just beautiful presentation, makes you seem like an expert. So that I think getting business is huge.
Huge, So fun story. So I'm teaching an AI mastermind for like
Hmm.
nationally, so every other week. Tomorrow is my session 11. Like every session is focused on certain things. Tomorrow is
Yeah,
focused on AI presentations, right?
love
So
that.
gamma.app, and I was just, I mean, I all my presentations are in Gamma, but I did one yesterday just to show them what's possible
Yeah,
to air tomorrow. I basically said, I have buyers looking for homes in
yep,
Bethesda, Maryland. Create a presentation that would outline the features of Bethesda, what they should be thinking about, pricing, etc. I mean, like eight slide deck that
yep,
is rich with data, with sources
100%.
quoted, right? I mean, so great takeaway. And Olivia Sallier, I had somebody from Berkshire Hathaway in RW Town, Chesapeake, Virginia. She
Yeah,
lives on Gamma. I mean, she says that's my, and it also builds sites now, like
100%.
landing pages,
Yep,
right? I mean,
yep.
literally. So cool stuff. Yeah.
You have an event that you want to do, you want to make a nice little landing page for it. You don't have to go through all this and paste. Easy to go.
Yeah.
And then to add on top of that, so a little bit more on the editing side of it slash marketing side of it, um, is 11 Labs.
Oh, yeah.
11 Labs is a game changer, man. I feel like people used to pay thousands of dollars for these cool audios and voiceovers, and like especially when you're doing these TV ads and you want to like have those like Morgan Freeman type of audios. And now with 11 Labs, you can create audios that in seconds, right? Of any type that you want, of any person, female, male, whatever it is. And it really elevates your videos. So I do a lot of day in the life content,
Yeah.
which if we want to talk about content, we will. But I think it's one of my favorite types of videos. I think, especially being in the real estate industry, we've created this own persona on ourselves to where we just wake up and sell houses and make $1 million a year, right? So people don't think we actually do work, we do stuff. So day in life videos have been doing really well for me. People are like, oh my God, this guy actually works hard all day. He's been working from 4:30 to whatever. And 11 Labs I use to do nice voiceovers instead of doing it myself. So I really, really love 11 Labs. And then on top of that, CapCut
Oh, yeah.
is its own editing app, but they've added so many AI features to it. Game changer.
So let me say something about I saw your day in the life. So
Yeah.
if you're listening to this pod, we're going to put a link to Omar's an absolute must follow. Okay. If you're listening to this
Thank
pod,
you.
he's a must follow in DC real estate. And he's got, I think, 157,000 views on his day in the life. And he starts like at the gym. I mean, like the whole, I mean, the
Yeah.
hard work, is definitely outlined in that day in the life video. Well done, my friend, on that one for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Means a
So,
lot.
yeah, go ahead. So CapCut, we talked about
CapCut,
11 Labs. So 11 Labs, I don't know
11
if you know
Labs.
this, they just released, you can generate music. So I've done a so fun story. I've done a Valentine's Day song for my wife recently, February.
Wow.
I did
Love that.
ChatGPT and Suno. Suno is like amazing for video, I mean
Game
audio,
changer.
game
Yeah.
changer. But now 11 Labs is like they may have killed Suno. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they've done a commercial music generator. So you can type your words, like the whole thing, and it just give it a prompt and it just creates a song for you. So
Takes
anyway,
care of it.
yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, no, and CapCut is it's been my favorite editing app for a really long time.
Yeah.
And now they have so many features. Like I was using it literally earlier today. Shot a video, didn't love in my video that there were people in it. AI background remove. Just like the most simple things, but elevates and makes the biggest difference, right? How many times are you at a really nice, like I film a lot of content at like the Lincoln Memorial and all
Yeah.
that kind of good stuff. There's a gazillion people behind me. I used to have to show up at 6 a.m., try to beat everyone. Now I can go there, there could be 100 other people there. But now with CapCut's AI and all the different tools, there's so much you can do. If you're someone that loves filters, there's so many AI filters that can make things happen. And honestly, I can only imagine where it's going to be 3 to 6 months now.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a firm believer now. I've been talking about this in all my keynotes that there will be AI powered agents that are going to
100%.
create a major separation because you'll be
Yep.
able to do more than you ever have,
So
better
much more.
quality than you ever have, and
Yep.
faster than you ever have, right? And
So I'll give you a prime example. I work with developers primarily right now.
yeah,
That's like my main clientele. And I'm in North Carolina right now, as I told you. And right before I was gonna hop on my flight, one of my developers texted me. His name is Nikhil, a big developer in DC, and he hits me up, says, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying this deal. I'm about to sign, we're about to ratify, but I want to get your opinion and make sure that the ARV makes sense, XYZ. About to board this flight. I have a custom GPT, which we can talk about later.
Yeah.
And all that custom GPT has is all my favorite sources, right? MLS, RPR. I'll use maybe even Zillow sometimes. And pretty much I'm just like, hey, give me your analysis of what the ARV on this would look like. Give me your favorite three comps. And just based off of that, I could get an idea of exactly what we need to be around. And I gave him my number. And he's like, okay, cool. That's exactly what I thought too. Ratified, moved forward,
And that would have
game
taken you
changer.
hours, right?
Hours. I'd have to go
Yeah.
open MLS, insert my criteria, the whole thing.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of custom GPTs. And I've
Yep,
built several that agents can use, but eventually you'll build your own because your processes are a little different than
correct.
most of them. And so, give me your top. Let's kind of finish up with. I have two questions I want to end with,
Yeah,
but I'd love for you to share your top three, four custom GPTs you've built that you use over and over again.
yeah. So my favorite one is I call it like my daily report.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, same thing. I have all my favorite resources there, right? And everybody has their own trusted ones that they go to. But let's say for me, I have Keeping Current
Current
Matters
matters.
in
Yeah.
there. I actually have now BAM's articles on there too, because I love what they do and
Yeah.
they have pretty good information on there. I have Mortgage News Daily linked to it, and I have Bright MLS linked to it. And every morning, all I say is, give me everything I need to know today. And I just sound like an absolute expert because it tells me, hey, active listings on the market right now in the Washington, D.C. are at 2,372. Canceled is this, withdrawn is this. And then if I want to be more specific, if I'm going to be going to showings in a specific area in Capitol Hill or a listing appointment, I'll be like, give me data I need to know about this zip code. It'll be like, average days on market in 20707 is XYZ. So now when I'm speaking to my clients, talking to them, I also talk about mortgage rates, all that kind of good stuff. I know all the key points I need to know to sound like an absolute pro. Up to date, good to go. I'm not reading 10 different articles, 10 different websites. So that's probably the most useful and my favorite one.
Yeah. So, and the sources you're given it, the four sources you mentioned, are really
Yeah,
public data. It's not like you're not
correct.
downloading stuff and uploading
No,
anything, although you can for market analysis
yeah,
and dig deep.
yeah.
So that's a great take. Any other one that you get to beyond your day to day?
Yeah, so my daily reports, kind of like I said, my like comparables GPT,
Yeah,
where it'll just give me analysis of what it thinks properties are worth, etc. I have one that does both rentals because I do a lot of rentals too, and also one for regular resales. And then on top of that, I have my scripting GPT. So for content, so I again, clients pay us thousands of dollars to come with strategy and do their content scripts, and I tell them I will prompt it really well, but AI is making your script because it will do it way better than I can, right? You just have to know how to prompt it. So I have my ready to go prompt, which anybody can copy and paste, where it's like, I need you to make me consistent 40 to 60-second scripts that have a viral hook that can engage. And I gave them my favorite creators, let's say Alex Ramosi,
yeah,
Gary Vee, whatever it is. And I put their account information off the bat. I'm like analyzing the videos that they do and what does best for them. I want you to create me 60-second viral videos off each topic that I give you. So let's say my topic today is why it's best to buy homes in the winter versus the summer. It'll come up with a real, instead of the regular chat GPT of the very basic, like, the terminology of buying a home in Washington, D.C. Instead, now it's going to be like, here's why you're a loser if you don't buy a home. And
yeah,
it just gets it
yeah. The
more
first 10
engaging.
seconds, yeah,
So, exactly. So, those are my favorite ones. I have a couple more, but I think those are the most
yeah,
tangible
100%.
ones.
So fun story. I have a AI chief of staff, AI
Love
board.
that.
Like
Love that.
Simon Sinek is in the board, so I can go and ask it questions based on who I'm at.
Yeah.
Gary Vee is in the board for certain
Love
things,
that.
marketing stuff. So your creativity is the only limitation you have with AI, right? I mean, literally,
100%.
right? And we're just still unlocking stuff. Every day seems to be an
Yep.
unlock. When I heard you,
Something
and
new.
there's something new. I got to go tweak this, stuff like that. So this has been fun, man. I can talk to you all day, but
Yeah.
I know you got to catch a flight, and I want to get to two questions as we wrap.
Yeah.
So your journey is still early in the overall
Yes.
scheme of things for real estate. But if you had to give an advice to your younger self or an agent listening, what would
Yeah.
any advice based on success and et cetera, what would that one piece of advice be for them?
great question. Biggest advice I would give to anybody, especially getting started in real estate or just want to really level up, is find a mentor.
Mm, yeah.
Genuinely, the best you can do in any industry, real estate or not, is find someone that's absolutely crushing it, that you look up to, that you just latch on and be a sponge.
Yeah.
Because you will learn more, like I said, about everything: life, business, money, taxes. I tell everyone this: there's no way I would have been able to get to where I am today as fast as I did if I didn't have a mentor. Maybe I could have still done it, but it would probably take me another 5, 10 years, right? So it will be the fastest way for you to 10x your growth is having a mentor. And I tell everyone this too, because I think it makes a difference. It should be someone you look up to and like the overall grand scheme of things, right? Not just the fact that they make a lot of money, but like, do they have a great family life? Like, do they like things that you're like, okay, I wouldn't mind being this person. Like, do I see myself in 20 years being this guy or this girl? So, biggest piece of advice is find a mentor.
Yeah, and you're a great example of that because that 9 months literally transformed where you are today, right? Your early
Yeah.
early journey. Last question. So I don't know if you're a book or a podcast guy. Are you a book or a podcast?
Podcast.
Podcast. Okay, so is there your what is your the podcast that has deeply influenced how you think? Is there one?
Yeah. It's a very big one. A lot of people might know it, but the Diary of a CEO is a podcast that I will never miss a podcast episode. I learned so much because again, like you're getting the inside scoop of all these different CEOs, entrepreneurs,
Oh yeah,
and he does a great job of bringing on some of the biggest, the best in the business. So I sit there, and again, we live in our cars as real estate
yeah,
professionals. If you can just turn the music off and have a podcast on every ride, the amount of knowledge you'll consume is unheard of. And for me, I love podcasts and podcasts like The Diary of a CEO because it's a very real and raw things you might not necessarily put in a book or make content about. It comes out of them in these podcasts,
hundred
so you
percent.
really get to see the true raw version. So Diary of a CEO is one that I would just absolutely recommend to everybody.
Yeah, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes. And Omar, this has been fun, man. I appreciate you taking
Yeah,
the time in transit,
anytime.
and can't wait to meet you in person sometime real soon. You know, we're not
Absolutely,
that
when
far
you come
away.
down to
Well,
DC you have
yeah,
to.
absolutely, for sure. So thank you for your time and safe travels.
Absolutely. Thank you. Talk soon.